Hello everyone, I am Professor Ijaz Ahmed, Assistant Professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering, IIT ISM Dhanbad. I will be taking an NPTEL course on engineering aspects of biofuel and biomass conversion technologies. As we are aware that the carbon neutrality and decarbonization has become a major issue. Therefore, in this course, we will be talking about biomass and the use of biomass as a carbon neutral source. Particularly, we'll start with the history of biomass. Then we'll discuss the challenges associated with the current agro-residue and different type of biomass which are produced. That will be followed by the government policies and sustainable development goals. Then we'll discuss about high temperature technologies that includes briquetting, pelletization, gasification, pyrolysis, as well as the low temperature technologies like fermentation, enzymatic and chemocatalytic processes. We'll also discuss in this class how to prepare the flow diagram and PNID for designing different type of biomass conversion plants. Followed by that, we'll discuss the purification and separation units, and eventually we'll move towards the production of sustainable aviation fuel and transportation fuel from the waste biomass and high value chemicals like biopolymer, artificial sweeteners, etc. The intended audience is both academia as well as the industry personnel, and there are several industries which actually hire the people who have this background knowledge. For example, the fuel industries, power plant, steel plant, biorefineries, garment PSUs, food processing industry, sugar industry, agriculture, pollution control board, etc. Now, this course is 12-week, 30-hour course, and the week-wise content are primarily we'll start in the week one with the introduction to biofuel and biomass conversion technologies. As I said, we'll discuss what are the problems that we are facing because of the biomass, especially the waste biomass, and why there is a need for renewable energy and biofuels. This will be followed by, of course, the economic and innovation opportunities, how we can use as a resource and how we can make different technologies. And we'll also discuss that what are the different policies of the government which encourages the utilization of biomass as a carbon neutral resource, and how many of the sustainable development goals we can meet using this. Overall, we'll talk about waste to wealth approach, and then we'll move to the week two, where we'll discuss about different types of biomass and their categorization, the availability of biomass worldwide as well as in India, and then history of biofuel. So it's not like that the biofuel started today. It started long back ago. Since the early civilizations, the people are using biomass as a source of fuel, and then what happened over the time, and then different generation of biofuels, how we categorize the biofuels into different generations, and then briefly we'll discuss high temperature technologies, thermochemical technologies, and then we'll start detailing each and every technology. That will start with briquetting of biomass and all the equipments and block flow diagram and accessories required for making a briquetting plant. That will also include the process flow diagram as well as the PNID, and that will be followed by the exhaust system to capture the fume and make the process environment friendly. And then after that, we'll also discuss a similar kind of biomass derived product, which is biomass pellets. And for that, we'll discuss different types of biomass pelletizers. And eventually, we will compare the difference between the briquettes and pellets, which is very important as many people are not aware of it. Now, week 4 and 6, we'll discuss the high temperature conversion technologies. That includes primarily the old age technologies like the gas stove, followed by the new age gasification towers, and how do we design a large scale industrial gasifier, and what are the theories behind that, how to classify different type of gasifiers, how to develop their process flow diagram, and then we'll discuss about the pyrolysis, which is again a high temperature process. So the product that we get from the pyrolysis, and then how to make a process flow diagram for different pyrolysis units, and also the bio-oil, syngas and biocoal production we'll discuss in this course. After that, we'll move to the low temperature technologies from 7 to 10 weeks, where we'll discuss about, primarily we'll start with the introduction to low temperature conversion technologies, and then we'll discuss about the catalytic processes, the chemical catalytic processes for the biomass conversion, Followed by that, we'll discuss on biochemical conversion processes and particularly how to develop the process flow diagram for the bioethanol production, which is of great interest to the industry as well as the human being. Of course, we'll discuss about the biogas production from the biomass. And when we talk of biogas, biogas comes with lot of acid gas like CO2 and H2S. So we'll discuss the different kind of equipments required to produce the biogas plant, as well as the operation and maintenance and purification of the biogas obtained from the anaerobic and aerobic digesters. Eventually, in the end of the course, we'll go to the algal biomass as well as the non-edible oil. In algal biomass, as we know, these are long chain fatty acids, and then we have a good opportunity to make both fuel and chemical from them. So firstly, we'll learn about different types of algal biomass, and then we'll learn about the different technologies for algal biomass conversion into fuel and chemicals. Then we'll discuss about the non-edible oil availability and opportunities, and then how we can use these non-edible oil to produce fuel or chemicals. Particularly, non-edible oil has a carbon range which is suitable for the sustainable aviation fuel. So we'll focus on that, how to produce SAF from the non-edible oil. Similarly, like a non-edible oil, we have used cooking oil that we will also discuss how to use the discarded cooking oil for fuels and chemical production. Besides that, we'll also discuss the production of biolubricants and polymers precursor from the algal biomass as well as the used cooking oil. So I hope overall this course will give you a total different perspective of the biomass conversion technologies, not just the theory, but how to implement at the commercial level, and what are the factors that should be considered while designing these kind of plants, how to develop a PNID, how to develop a PFD. And this will be useful for both UG, PG, PhD students as well as the people who are working in industry, because this is going to be the future where we need a carbon neutrality. This is all. I request you all to kindly register for this course and take the maximum advantage to contribute towards a green and sustainable future. Thank you.